I'm Ravi Nanda, and I am associated as Professor Emeritus with the University of Connecticut. I think I took the easy route. My both brothers were orthodontists, and so I always tell people the notes were there, the books were there, professors were there, so it was very easy to start orthodontics. So I kind of got suckered into it, and I stayed with it. So that's the honest answer for this thing. Orthodontics means a profession where you make people happy, you give them good aesthetics, you give them good function, you help them with their self-esteem, how they feel about themselves in the society. And I think it is one of the most fulfilling professions, at least I am concerned, Orthodontics means to society is, number one, to be honest with you, because everyone complains that it costs too much. But at the same time, everyone tells me that, I had braces, my kids are having braces. And overall, I think they consider orthodontics in high esteem because they have been very happy with the results they have received over the years, how orthodontists have interacted with them, and how they are in the society, in the school system, and how they interact with with everyone. So people overall are very happy with orthodontists. That's the way I feel. Well, everyone thinks I'm an extrovert, okay, but I am my hobbies are very introvert. I am a very avid stamp collector for the last 65 years. I travel all over the world, attending auctions, putting my stuff in auctions. I've reached that stage in life where I can't afford most of the things I really need. I grow orchids, which is very, I just do it myself over the years. I've had greenhouse and these days I live on a golf course, but I am growing bananas and mangoes and orchids. So I'm very much, keep myself, and at the same time, I'm writing books and articles and publishing. But when I go out, I'm a happy guy. That's the way I look at myself. I feel the most difficult cases to treat are at two levels. One is the problem which patient is presenting, and then second one is the patient themselves. So you end up with some patients who are never happy with anything you do. They come back to you after a year or 6 months. During the treatment, they're all the time complaining. And sometimes you think, what did I do wrong? So we all have those. The second part is the patients I feel which are very, very difficult are the ones where patient won't accept surgery, or I don't want to do surgery, but at the same time, problem is so complex that I know it's going to take me a long time to do. And those are the patients, usually they would have syndromes. They are going to have cleft lip and palate. That was my PhD thesis. I always found long-term treatment, and it's very satisfying, whatever you do for them. But a typical patient, you get some good ones, you get some difficult ones, and you tread along, But syndromic patients are very difficult. That's the way I look at it. Well, I started practicing in 1966. So that's been a long time. And I always tell in my lectures that everyone says that orthodontics has really advanced a lot. Okay. So we have advanced a lot. We don't make bands anymore. We do the bonding, and we have now nickel titanium, and we got shape memory wires, and we got CBCT, and we got everything. But if whenever a patient asked me 55 years ago, Dr. Nanda, how long the treatment will take, and I used to say, oh, 20 months to 2 years. And when they ask me now how it will take, how long the treatment will take, I still say it is 20 to 24 months. So the whole world has moved on, over the years, but we are still stuck in that time period. So I think we really have not progressed as far as the acceleration of orthodontic treatment is concerned. We still really don't understand the biology as much, and our more emphasis these days has been on the plastic and on the whether we are going to have CAD/CAM brackets. And so we are kind of always rotating around the treatment of moving teeth. Sometimes we are doing it efficiently, sometimes we are not. But as far as the treatment is concerned, 18 months, 20 months, 24 months, we really haven't progressed. I had a cataract surgery a few days ago, and the ophthalmologist said it will take me 6 minutes to put the lenses in your eye. And that's all it took him. And I ended up paying $7,000. And I told him, I said, hey, to get $7,000, I'm working with a patient for 2 years and 2 years of retention. He said, you should have been an ophthalmologist. So you go figure that, So I don't think we really have moved as much as we all think we have. I think we are not going to go for excellence in results. The reason for that is that we are going more and more towards aligners, and we all know the efficacy of aligners is very bad, and for many tooth movements, it is good for some, not good for others. And we are sort of beholden to orthodontic companies telling us what to do. Now you can grow the jaws. Now you can expand the palate. You can treat little kids. So I think we are sort of lost in that area. And also DSOs are going to play a big role. But I'm really not sure about DSOs, because I think there was a period OCA came into the market, and everyone kind of said that's the way orthodontics is going to go, but OCA is gone. And so future is going to tell us how the DSOs are going to work out. So that's the way I think. I'll have to go back lots of years. I think I got involved with JCO. I think Dr. Gottlieb, I met him at one of the meetings in Denver, Colorado. I think it was a AAO meeting, at least probably 30 years ago, 35 years ago. I don't even remember. And at that time, he said that, hey, guys, you're doing all this biomechanics and everything. Why don't you start sending some nice clinical papers? And so we started, our feeling was at that time that most of the work has to be research work, most of the scientific studies. But biomechanics is such that it's based on physics. So I really do not have to show 20 cases treated with the same wire, because the result mechanics of physics is going to be the same. So we started publishing intrusion, space closure, expansion, slow expansion devices. And then I published quite a bit with Dr. Sugawara over the years, with Dr. Uribe, with the resident. I don't know, maybe I have published about 25, 30 papers over the years. I gave a couple of interviews, JCO interviews. I think I did that maybe 15 years ago or 12 years ago. So And then Dr. Burstone, who was chair at UConn till 1990, even he agreed with the concept of JCO at that time, because people always said, "Oh, JCO is clinical; it is, not scientific enough," and I didn't believe in that. And I think I have been associate editor of JCO for the last, I don't know, 30 years at least, if not more. And sometimes I work more than other times, but we keep sending papers. I think there's one paper we sent a few days ago, 2 more papers are ready to go in JCO. So, I love JCO as far as I'm concerned. And my advice to everyone outside is, if you are in clinical practice, if you can even get 4 or 5 balls, 4 or 5 ideas during the year, it just pays for itself. That's the way I look at it. That's why I tell everyone in my lectures and courses all over the world that JCO is very, very important for us. I think JCO means to me is what clinicians are doing in their practice, and they would like to share their ideas and concepts with others. So not these ideas or this technique or how they are doing may not work for everyone, but at least most of the people end up seeing, if I have a patient like this, how would I be treating? I use the JCO concept. I did a atlas of orthodontics about 4 years ago, and now I have an atlas of aligners coming out with the 4 other authors. And the concept is basically the same like JCO. What we did is we asked 35 clinicians who do aligners, and we told each and everyone, this is how we're going to write the case. This is how the photographs will look like. These are the bullet points. And this is the case we want. And we look at it, we accept it, or we reject it. And we are going to put it together into a book format. So it's like almost having a JCO of the last 20 years in a book format, so people can open and look at it. So I believe in this format. There is a place for a journal like JCO in orthodontics. There is no other journal which takes care of the clinical situation, I think the JCO means to profession the same way that often clinicians feel that Angle Orthodontist, American Journal of Orthodontics, Progress in Orthodontics, they publish research papers which professors needed for their promotions and stuff like that. But if you look at it very carefully, that you need that kind of research to move forward, because and JCO is taking care of the clinical aspects, which the other journals are not really interested in. So there's a whole void, as far as I'm concerned, with the other journals, because we don't look at the clinical cases as much. I think American Journal of Orthodontics is the only one which will accept maybe case reports. Other journals don't accept case reports. So I think there's a very special place for JCO for the profession. Well, let's talk about social media first. Social media, the way I look at, for example, Facebook, I find it's a jungle out there. Okay, there are some very good, very good blogs there, which I give an example of, like Kevin O'Brien. I mean, everyone loves to see what he's saying. You may not agree with everything what he's saying, but everyone looks into it. Beyond Ludwig has a very good one, because he talks about digital orthodontics. I have one with about 20,000 people, I think, close to Nanda Orthodontic Study Group. And all I do is I put in the articles which I publish in Progress in Orthodontics. And and some other important things. But I don't accept any discussion and arguments. And then there's a lot of misinformation in there. For example, Frederick Fleming has a very good one. He talks about retention, talks about teaching individuals, but I don't know what to do. I am not a believer in publishing, putting in any clinical case into in the social media. I don't think we should be asking people, how do I treat this patient? Or we should be telling people, look how I did something. I don't believe in it. My friends do it, but I personally don't. So social media, and then there are a lot of arguments and a lot of fights among people. So it's a little bit of entertainment. When I want entertainment, I go to certain blogs and I find some nice discussion going on. Every JCO comes in, I open and I read it. And there are a lot of other journals come in and they stay in plastic for about 3 months before I end up opening them. So it's not like there's one thing which I have picked up. It's like I used to enjoy interviews a lot. I loved those, because we used to do interviews what people do, how they develop certain things in their practice, small pearls, which are very good, and TADs, for example, although I was introduced to TADs when they came in from Korea, but I think over the years, JCO was instrumental in basically showing us how to move with the TADs. I still remember an interview which took place about 15 years ago. How do you use TADs, And majority of the orthodontists in the US said, we send it to an oral maxillofacial surgeon to put them on. And so you can see, JCO has been instrumental in many areas. And the same thing we have done, when we reintroduced when Junji Sugawara and I, Surgery First, we published like 5 articles in JCO and it took off. Nobody talked about Surgery First. We coined the terminology at that time. And now we sit back and all over the world, wherever I go, they're talking about Surgery First and JCO articles. All those JCO articles show up in every article which is ever published on Surgery First, or any talk anyone gives, So you can see the JCO has made an impact in many areas in clinical orthodontics. I can go on and give you other examples. Because JCO is coming up with ideas which are being put forward by the clinicians, especially how they do it successfully, or if they have a problem, how they take care of the problem. And what you are doing is, I gave you an example of bringing in some new concept. Surgery First was one of ours. Junji Sugawara's papers on skeletal plates was another example. With Bjorn Ludwig and Benedict Wilmes, I did some articles on biomechanics of palatal TADs and all that. I can go on the contributions of JCO and now the digital orthodontics, which especially Bjorn is doing, and you are going to see in the future shape memory aligners. You are going to see this newer material which Graphy brought. A lot of these articles will be coming in JCO and different journals. So good reason. You want to know something new going on, you're going to go to JCO. You're not going to find it in what I would call classic journals. But when you want to find out systematic review of whether this thing works or not, and how many studies are basically, then you go to other journals. For example, Exceldent, it doesn't exist anymore, right? They came in the market, the studies came in. Actually, our studies came in, it said it doesn't work. it doesn't exist anymore. And there are other products too, they are introduced and we do the research, and that work goes on in the other journals. And I think JCO has been very careful in publishing questionable research, or questionable products, I love JCO as far as I'm concerned. And my advice to everyone outside is, if you are in clinical practice, if you can even get 4 or 5 pearls, 4 or 5 ideas during the year, it just pays for itself. That's the way I look at it. That's why I tell everyone in my lectures and courses all over the world that JCO is very, very important for us. I think I should have stuck with growing orchids, I think. No, I'm just or collecting stamps or something. No, I don't think there's anything different I have to do. If I have to do it again, I would still be an orthodontist, because I enjoyed the teaching part very much. Our students have become more different, more empowering over the years, and I don't think anything would be different. When you are in education, when you are a teacher, you are a teacher. There's no difference. The timing of it, My best advice to them is that they should not be beholden to orthodontic companies. They should read the literature. They should attend meetings where less KOLs will be talking and more people who do scientific work are talking. There's nothing wrong with evidence-based research. Clinical experience is very important. And I think lifelong learning should be the motto of everyone who is in practice, because whatever you learned in school, the finished result may be the same, but how you're going to reach there has changed quite a bit, and that would be my advice. My best advice for residents is that they should seek knowledge. They are more into like, just give it to me, and I don't want to read anything, and I don't want to do anything extra. I just want to go through 2 or 3 years. So I always tell them that a little bit of research is very important. Reading the literature is very important. Asking intelligent questions is important. And they should take more initiative in learning and attending meetings and listening to people. But I think it's quite a bit lacking these days. They don't want to read. They want cookbook approach. And that would be my advice to them, Go and seek, and you shall find. No, I mean, there is no one pearl at all. I always say that treatment plan in biomechanics is very important. If you did not get biomechanics in school, go find it, learn about it, because biomechanics in orthodontics is like pharmacology in medicine, because that tells you, this is the dosage, how many days you should take it, and what are the side effects. And that's what biomechanics is. How much force you are using, what are the side effects, how to create different centers of rotation and moments. And that is the secret of orthodontics. Like if you catch that, you can do all sorts of things. You could be innovative, not follow the leaders, become a leader yourself.